During Planet Comic Con, we met up with Abby DarkStar and Keith Zinn, and we chatted with them a little bit about themselves. But we also got to talk to them about the comments that were made between Santa Fe Comic Con and a cosplayer, and how Santa Fe Comic Con went a little too far with their comments. You can check out Santa Fe Comic Con's comments here at our Facebook page.
Welcome to another Username Nerd News. My name is Mike Hewitt, and I'm with world-famous cosplayers, Abby DarkStar and Keith Zinn. How you guys doing?
We are doing good, except for the fact that apparently she cannot talk.
She has lost her voice,
She's
so yes.
Voice feeling.
But you can kind of talk for her.
Sure,
I've got
sure.
some.
I will try to do my best Abby impersonation. Okay, apparently not.
So you guys are a couple and married. Were you cosplaying before you were married, or did you after?
No, we both were. I've been doing it for a pretty ridiculously long time, and she's been doing it since about 2008, I think.
So did you guys meet cosplaying?
Yeah, we met online for OK Cupid Cosplay. No, I'm lying. No, but we did meet online.
Okay.
I was apparently wearing Iron Man, and she liked Iron Man.
This is the best. Her not talking. Her face expressions are awesome.
She can't say anything. She can elbow me though. So yeah, that might. Wow. Okay.
Well, this is actually great because I have a lot of questions for you.
And violent, so that makes sense.
So, do you guys like doing group cosplay costumes, or do you like rather? Do you like that, or sometimes you just want to do your own thing?
So you mean group or couple?
A couple.
It depends. It depends on what we're doing and what the characters are. Some things lend themselves really well to a couple related thing, but other things, sometimes I'm working on Negan from The Walking Dead from the TV show, not the comic, and she just has no interest in doing anything that's.
So, okay, which one of you? I mean, I'm assuming you guys like couple, but which one of you is kind of like because me and my wife are the same way. I'll be like, let's do this, and she's like, no, I need my space. So which one of you is like, no, I'm ready to do my own costume? Have you ever? That's what I thought.
Well, that's not completely true. I mean, like I said, when she met me, I was doing Tony Stark and Iron Man, and I Batman and a bunch of other stuff. So a lot of the stuff I was doing were sort of solo-related characters. It just so happened that while I was doing Batman, she also did Poison Ivy. So we crossed paths, and but she did end up doing Black Widow because I was doing Iron Man. She did make me do Riker from Next Generation and Master Chief.
The fascinating part is you look like every one of these people. I'm like Tony Stark. I can totally see that. Riker. I can totally see that. That's you've got a face for a lot of different things.
It's lighting, makeup, cotton balls, put them in my cheeks or something.
So, the next thing I want to kind of go into is Santa Fe Comic Con. Oh, that whole debacle. It's amazing. Cosplay in the last 10 years, 10 years people really didn't know a lot about it. 5 years people knew about it, but now I feel like the normal person out there, the people that are outside these walls kind of have a feeling or they kind of know. And for a world like this, the one place cosplayers should feel safe is in an actual Comic-Con. And that rule was kind of broken lately. What do you guys, what's your thoughts on that? Now you're dying to talk, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, Abby is a social media manager and marketing person by trade, so it's one of those things where
I'm going to try to do this. Basically, it wasn't handled the right way. I understand that the person was probably trying his best intentions, but he felt was his best intentions. He didn't realize the way he was approaching it was absolutely inappropriate and incorrect, especially as a professional who claimed to have so many years of experience in our community. I actually spoke with Jim, the owner, with a situation that arose that he got involved in, and I really think that cosplayers are now, a way that conventions can become successful. They can encourage a community. Cosplay is something that people are very passionate about. And to kind of ignore that kind of, marketing source is not a wise business decision. So, I lost my train of thought.
That's a pretty good train of thought.
Well, I mean, this place that treats comic book art, and that's what they call it, comic book art, so with such reverence. It's cosplay art, and it's not. I mean, some of the things they were saying, I have them there. I'm not going to mention them, but they mention models a lot, and they're not. You guys are not models. Models model other people's clothing. This is artworks. First of all, you guys, cosplayers, take something that's unrealistic in comic books, and you guys do the amazing and make it look realistic. And so, I just think. This is an artwork form that needs to be taken much more seriously. And yes, so.
I think that, I think he says that he had one mindset of, he was dealing with promotional companies that had what he classifies as promotional models who are not into the geek hobby, that are not cosplayers, but yet they're wearing a costume and they're out marketing, I don't know, whatever, not Nextel, cell phone stuff or whatever. Sorry, Nextel. And but what I find weird about that, and he then later talks about how the original status wasn't actually a real status. First, it was not a woman contacting him; it was a man, because that was designed to take the pressure off of the things he was saying about women. And then it wasn't a conversation at all. It was paraphrased from a number of conversations. What I didn't understand, and what I tried to explain to him when I talked to him, was you said cosplayer. You didn't say promotional company. You didn't say something else. You said specifically cosplayer. And you made it seem like it was a specific person. And yeah, and then you proceeded to then respond along the way with certain keywords which are, dangerous in our community anyway.
Right.
And then, of course, all anybody's going to hear is those keywords with the word cosplayer because it's a diverse static. So,
yeah. So, I mean, you guys were very nice when you're like, they're misunderstanding, because I don't see it as nice at all. And I mean, and I don't want to ask you this question again, but should we be boycotting cons that are treating people like this?
Okay, well, I'm going to say this, and I tend to like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And my feeling on the matter is that sometimes when you're a convention owner, or you are an artist, or you are responsible for anything that's kind of your baby, that could be viewed as your child or your pet or your whatever, and you defend it. However, sometimes illogical, you're going to defend it because it is your project, it's your love, right? And that could have been what happened here. And he had an opportunity to back down and like take a step back and then kind of like fix, but he didn't. Because he felt so attacked.
He went farther in.
So that's certainly potentially one option. The other option is he might actually just be how he presents himself. I don't really know.
It could have been a knee-jerk reaction to what he was feeling. I mean, it can be very hard when you're on the internet to be objective, to cut off that emotion and just check it. The thing is that most people don't realize that when you are at an event, whether you're a vendor, an artist, or a cosplay guest, you're working. We're not here playing Candy Crush. We're working. We are talking shop. We are answering questions. We are, spending our PTO often to be here, and we love it. We love the community. We wouldn't be here if we didn't love it. At the same time, you have to ask yourself sometimes, it's like, do I get compensated with travel or, food or something simple? Or do I spend my PTO when I could be on my couch in my sweatpants watching Netflix? You have to weigh those options and find out what's best for you. Because I will be perfectly honest. I mean, like today, I'm apparently not my best. I haven't eaten all day, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm working my ass off because I love these people and I love being here. And to be disrespected as he did, I would not be okay with it. I am not going to advocate boycotts, though. Everybody has to act according to their own personal conscience. But I will say we need to be the change we want to see. If we want the community to be better, we have to respond better. We have to set better examples, and we have to lead that change.
Yeah, I think, I feel like cosplayers work some of the hardest. I mean, I see there's a robot guy there. It's Iron Man, not Robot Guy. I just got offended by a bunch of people. But I
War
mean,
Machine.
yes. What they have to do is, it's real work. Sometimes when these people sit behind their booths, sometimes their product just doesn't work, but you guys have to sell yourselves and stuff like that. Last question before we go. When do you think, obviously it's very easy to be a girl in cosplay, and I understand that. Well, let's say this, very good shape. When do you think the actual costume will take stage when, and the actual person will not? Does that make sense? So, do you think?
Excelsior, right. So the people just walked by the Topeka Iron Man group. What's really cool about those guys, I love what they're doing. Their mom and dad are participating. That's their dad is Stan Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's their dad. He's out here. So.
That's cool. That's cool.
But the question was again.
A lot of the cosplay special guests that are here are normally women, and I understand that, and they're very beautiful. But I'm wondering, will there? And this is a hypothetical question. When will there ever be somewhere? And and I'm not saying it's just women as well, because there are obviously guys that can just have abs of steel. There's some guys here that I'm like, holy cow. But I'm wondering when will there be a time where the costume actually pulls forward, like somebody that can pull off a really good C-3PO will actually be invited to cons. Do you think that's something where the costume is forward center rather than?
We're starting to see a shift.
Is that a weird question? I don't know.
Not really. No, we're starting to see a shift. Maybe a year or two ago, it was mostly visually, and you could say cosplay model, but it was more women and sometimes sex appeal and that kind of thing, right? And we are starting to see a shift. We're starting to see a lot more makers of things. A good example is just behind us, Stephen and Kaylin, SKS Props and Hoffman, Prop Customs. I knew I'd get it right sooner or later. And so we are seeing a shift. Our friend Bill Duran, who's Punish Props, or Harrison and Volpin, they've all been invited to do cons and bring their wares. Wizard World, part of they wanted Harrison to bring his props. Harrison doesn't normally have a table. He normally just does panels. But they wanted him to actually have props on display. So they were like, throw your stuff into a big thing and we'll bring it out. So I love the fact that it is changing. We had an interesting experience at La Mole in Mexico, their comic convention. It was their 20-year anniversary. They love art. Like the Artist Alley was the busiest I've ever seen anywhere. And they love cosplay. There were, I want to say, at least 15 of us there. And what's weird, at least I found interesting, is that here, a lot of times people will come to visit the person. And because it's almost like a personality. I want to visit the personality. What you're wearing is secondary. At La Mole, it seems like if you were wearing something that was in their fandom that they really like, Batman, Superman, Captain America, Avengers, Spider-Man, it was crazy. And people would line up and take pictures with the costumers. They may not even know who that person was. Mm-hmm. But because they're wearing something, Spider-Gwen or Spider-Man, suddenly I'm in line because I want to get pictures with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's a very different feel, and it was interesting to see people in line because of costume and not because of the person.
So is there anything you guys are working on right now, something for the future?
We have, she has a laundry list of things she wants to do. Some of it is rebuilding of certain things or remaking certain costumes. On our list, we're working on what we call the Red Sonja project, which is turning out to be a way longer process than we anticipated. So we're going to be chipping away at that for a while. We're doing some videos tied to it, so we can show people a beginning to end build process.
And what's your guys' Twitter, all that? Give us all that information.
Abby is Abby DarkStar on almost every media, and I am the Keith Zen on almost everything, or just Keith Zen on I think Facebook. And our website is Keabdium, which is Keab and Tium, because for some reason we're an element, but we're a gassy element, so that's kind of how that came about.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. Do you guys see Planet Comic-Con in the future? Yes. Okay.
We would love to. Yeah, if they'll have us, we'll be back.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And thank you.
Okay, stop. Don't go to the next YouTube video or channel or skip or don't do anything. Real quick, 5 seconds. We have 3 different channels. Please subscribe to them. Username Nerd News, username Nerd Comics, username Nerd Games. We have separated them out into 3 ones. Choose all of them or just
just one to subscribe to. You'd love it. I promise you, we'll give you great content. It'll show up in your feed. You'll love it. Just real quick click. It doesn't take but a few seconds. You'd be awesome. Thank you.